Okay, so today we're going to be looking at the most common cars in Southwest Florida. This video will be helpful because it will maybe help you, decide what cars that you want to buy in Southwest Florida and try and not be the same as everyone else. Now, I've done my research. I actually went into a bunch of public servers and just, seen what sort of cars people were driving. I also went here on the Southwest Florida Discord server and was just asking people, what common cars are that they see often. Anyway, click the subscribe button because, I asked nicely. Please. Anyway, the first one, this one I feel like it's kind of a given, and this is actually the starter car, the Mazda 3. Obviously, this is the most common car. Everybody's driving this, and when I was going in the public servers, a lot of people were driving these. It is pretty obvious this is the most common car. I think these cars aren't in order of most common, but this is one of the most common cars, and that's just because every single person who plays this game has this car. Every single person. So obviously this is the most common one. So if you can, indicate looks pretty cool. If you can, try and get a different car as quickly as you can. Otherwise, you're kind of basic, you know what I mean? Anyway, moving on. This one's actually quite maybe unexpected, and it's actually in the hypercar section. Now, this, you know what? There's actually two hypercars I'm going to say are one of the most common cars. We're going to start with a Porsche 918 Spider Roadster. This, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it is the cheapest hypercar that you can get, and for that reason, I do see this car often. I think a lot of people drive it because it's the cheapest hypercar, and they get the money and they're like, yo, let me drive this hypercar. Surprisingly, this isn't the only common hypercar, and that's because if you get the money for this, then a lot of people might buy the next one up, which I'll tell you about in a minute. But yeah, this one's a pretty nice car. I actually do like this car. I haven't driven it in a while. With the amount of cars in Southwest Florida, it's kind of hard to drive them all, and I feel I really do like this car. It's not a bad thing, to be honest, if you drive this. The good thing about Southwest Florida is if you get a car on this list, you can customize it however you like. Over here at Sussies, very nice, very nice. But yeah, let's move on to the next hypercar, which I was talking about, and it's actually going to be, bro, I don't think I own it. Why don't I own it? Apparently I don't own it. It's actually the McLaren 2015 P1. Now, it's kind of surprising I'm saying it's common and I don't even own it. It's the one hypercar I don't own. But yeah, you'd be surprised. I joined a couple public servers. I took a picture in a few servers, but I just swear I used to own this car, bro.Maybe I sold it for space. Anyway, the fact that I sold it means it's kind of common, but yeah, this is a very common car. This is the second cheapest hypercar, and yeah, I feel like everybody loves a McLaren. I'd seen a lot of McLarens in public servers. What was the other one that I saw? Yeah, the McLaren GT, this one right here. So yeah, the P1 and also this was really common. I think this one's quite cheap, a really cheap McLaren. So it feels really small, doesn't it? But yeah, I saw McLarens a lot. There was a lot of McLarens. Not sure what the obsession is with McLarens in Southwest Florida. I don't blame them, bro. I love McLarens. My dream car is actually a McLaren 720S. Yeah, these two McLarens, the P1 and this one right here in the supercar section. Very common cars. I see these a lot. And do let me know in the comments, what sort of cars are you guys seeing around in the game often? Because moving on, another car that I see all the time, when I'm streaming or whatever, something I see all the time. Our Sun Remote. Now, don't worry, this is actually free. So it basically allows you to control any device from another device. So in this context, it would be controlling your computer from your phone. And the really cool thing about this is that means you're able to play Roblox, for example, on your computer, but on your phone, if that makes sense. It's kind of confusing. But all you do is you go to the description, click the link, download it, literally for free. Works on Windows, iPhone, Android, anything. You can go anywhere with a stable internet connection and play on your computer or use your computer. Now, they actually have a paid feature, which you can get a 7-day free trial with the code in the description or on screen right here, and it basically allows you to add keyboard buttons onto your screen. It's really cool. It just levels up your gaming experience and allows you to interact with the Roblox game, for example, or any game, just as if you were with a keyboard and a computer. And now obviously with that comes the worry that you got to leave your computer on all day. That's not the case. They actually have a smart plug you can buy on Amazon. You basically plug your computer into that smart plug and then the smart plug into the wall, and then you can literally remotely turn on and off your computer. It's really cool. But yeah, feel free to check it out. Link in the description. Is this right here, the Mazda Miata. I don't know, I get in trouble for how I say that in the comments. 1990 Mazda. As you can see, this car, it is so common. Everybody loves this car because it's cheap and it blinks, whoa, it's got eyes. What? Yeah, man, see this all the time, I'd be surprised if you don't own this. You watching this, I'm surprised you don't own it. Maybe you do. Yeah, very common car. And because, bro, when you customize it, this thing is actually kind of fast, bro. It's actually worth the money. I can't remember how much it was, but I swear it's no more than 20k. You'll notice a lot of these common cars are on the cheaper end. Obviously the hypercars are quite expensive, but that's just because they're common for that price range. But yeah, look how fast this is. This is going 200. I can't remember how much this cost me, but yeah, look at this, rapid. But moving on to the next one, I got quite a few. I feel like this one is a given. This I got from the Southwest Florida Discord server. A lot of people saying they see these often, and I mean, I do agree with them. So it is actually Hellcat. So we'll start with, I mean, this one's a limited one, so I won't say that one. But let's start with this one, the Dodge Charger Adcat, or a Hellcat. Hellcats are so popular. Obviously, we can thank Joji for that. A lot of his videos are based around Hellcats, and it's not a bad thing. But yeah, Hellcats are nice cars. I feel like lots of people like Dodge Hellcats. I mean, look at this. It is a really nice car to drive. Probably some of the best car variants in Southwest Florida. And yeah, it looks really nice, drives really nice. It's like a drift machine, bro. And yeah, this is very common. I see this car all the time, and so do other people, according to the Discord. But it's not just this exact car, because obviously not everybody has this. It's also this other one, the Charger Hellcat wide body, the wide body. This is very simple, basically the same, just a bit of a wider body frame. And yeah, again, everybody's got one of these. It drives just as well as the other one. I think that's just why they're so popular, for looks and performance, which, I mean, I guess is all that counts in a car, really. I mean, I kind of like this. I should drive them more. I actually never drive most of these cars, which is kind of hypocritical, me saying they're common. I guess also this car right here, the Dodge Challenger SRT8, it's still on sale now. Everybody can buy it. I feel like this one's quite common as well. Just every sort of like Dodge Challenger or Hellcat, things like that, I feel like they're really common in the game. I think they're called like American muscle cars, aren't they? I could be wrong, but I think because the game's American, you know, a lot of Americans, they like these cars, you know. I'm guessing they're common over there, I don't know. But yeah, man, I don't think there's any other cars that I see all the time, just because there's so many cars in this game. I don't see some like, I don't know, like I don't see these SUVs around often. I never see SUVs, never see pickups, don't often see hypercars, although I do often see maybe like the Venom GT. Like I do see Venom GT often. It's quite a quick car for a reason, so I do see this one quite often, but it's not like, kind of doesn't fit into this video, but I guess we'll give it an honorable mention. Like I do often see this, and I do often also see the Ferrari LaFerrari, because it is a really nice car. Looks wise. Well, I've talked about performance in the past, but yeah, I think that's going to be all for today's video. You know, just to let you know some of the common cars in Southwest Florida, help you make some decisions in buying some cars. Thank you for watching this video. Click the subscribe button, leave a like, and goodbye.